Hey guys, Fantasy Football Lab, Week 9. We are here Sunday morning. So I want to go matchup by matchup. I'm going to do things a little differently today. I'm going to talk about, highlight a particular passing offense versus the secondary, or even go the rushing offense versus the rushing defense. See some of the stats behind it, and also talk about certain players, highlight certain players for this particular game. So we got Dallas, Atlanta, the 51 points on this. Over on that. I think Dallas pulls away in this game. But it could go either way, right? It's at Atlanta. Atlanta's got top 6 ranking in passing game, and Dallas is the bottom at total yards, last in rushing. Everyone's also they're running on them, they're passing on them, they're doing a little bit of everything. You know what? Actually, this is probably Atlanta on this game, and it might be Atlanta big on this game. I think Kirk Cousins goes off on this game. Miami, Buffalo, 2 is back, 49 points. Got Miami over on here. So Buffalo's got 208 yards allowed, passing defense. They're in the middle, 13th. Miami's bottom in passing offense, but that's without Tua most of the season, right? So I like it, the fact that Tua is back, which means Waddle and Hill and HEN are all relevant in the goal line. Mostert's going to be relevant. I like Miami to start getting some wins now that Tua is back. So I like Miami in this game. Let's go to Las Vegas, Cincinnati. 45 points. I think this game was a toss-up. Could be under here on 40, under 45.5. So we're going to go passing offensive Cincinnati against Las Vegas's defense. 18th in rushing, 7th in passing on defense. So this is a top passing game in Cincinnati against Las Vegas's pretty good, surprisingly good, pretty good secondary. It's at Cincinnati. I'm going to go Cincinnati. Joe Burrow, once the season starts going, he just starts getting really good. MVP style, top 5 kind of quarterback. It takes Cincinnati here. Higgins is out. So I think Chase Brown, also Moss is out. Chase Brown and Chase are both going to eat. Chase and Chase Brown. Double Chase on here. Double Chase Cincinnati. So we got Chargers at Cleveland Browns, 42.5. Going to go under, going Browns on this game. The defense run of Cleveland against the Chargers running offense. The Chargers running offense isn't as good as I thought once I start looking at the stats, deep dive on that. 117 a game. They're at the bottom half in running offense. So their running game's not really that good. Their passing game's not really that good. They're just time of possession and holding, getting better at defense, I guess, in terms of points. The Chargers with Harbaugh. The defense of the Cleveland Browns is 17th versus the run, which is a little bit surprising as well. Thought their defense on the run would be a little bit better in terms of the stats. The luck of Jameis and the luck of the Irish. Cleveland pulls this game out. The New England Pats against the Titans, 38.5 over. I like Tennessee. The Patriots passing game is last with 149 yards. The Tennessee defense is first in yards allowed in terms of defense. So we're going the worst passing game against the best passing defense in Tennessee. I like Tennessee. They're going to roll. I think there could be a good streaming option. Tennessee rolls in this game. Low scoring game. Big game by Ridley. Mason Rudolph has been targeting Ridley a lot, so I like Ridley in this game. Redskins Giants, 44.5 got over Washington. The Washington defense, defense running against the Giants running offense. With the Giants offense in the run, bottom 10, what a surprise. But they have Tracy that's going to be their number 1 back, and he had a really good game against the Steelers. Washington defense, 140 yards rushing allowed. I think Tracy has a big game. I think Washington still pulls this game out, though. Okay, let's move along. Saints at Carolina. Two really bottom defenses. Over on the 43.5. I like the Saints in this game. So it's the passing game of the Saints with Carr in there against the Carolina secondary. So we're looking at the Carolina secondary bottom 10. The passing game for the Saints is middle tier, but now we have Carr back. So I think they're a little bit better than middle. Kamara's going to eat. We like the Saints in this game. Denver at Ravens. This seems to be a primetime game. 46.5 over. I think Ravens are going to win here in a blowout. Even though I like it's the rushing offense of Baltimore, which is number one, 200 yards a game against the Denver defense, which is seventh defense in rushing allowed, 106 a game. However, King Henry is just really doing his thing. Good offensive line, and he is still rolling along. I thought he would have got injured by now. Knock on wood, right? I don't mean any harm by that. It's just what I thought. He's getting old, tread on the tires, but nope. Henry's going to go off. I like the Ravens in this game. It's at Baltimore. It's not at Denver, too. So, Jaguars at Eagles. I like the Eagles. They're going to go off. So we're looking at the Eagles passing game, which is middle tier at 201 yards a game against the Jaguars passing defense, bottom 30, 271 yards allowed. So they're really terrible against the pass. Jalen Hurts is going to throw the ball. Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Saquon, everybody's going to have a big game like the Eagles. Chicago at Arizona. So 44.5. Going to go under on that. Don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Chicago offense has been struggling. So we've got the Chicago passing offense, which is bottom 5 at 183 yards a game. Secondary of Arizona, bottom 10 at 235. Something's got to give. It's at Arizona. I think it's going to be low on the passing for Chicago. Chicago secondary against the Arizona passing offense, I also wanted to take a look at. The Arizona passing 197 yards a game on offense. Chicago secondary, 199 yards allowed. Pretty even both ways. Something's got to give. I'm pulling towards Arizona. It's at Arizona. This game's a toss-up. We're going to say Arizona here in this game, but we never know what we're going to get from Arizona. It's a tricky team to try to predict. Let's go Detroit at Packers, another game of the week. Detroit passing game against the secondary defense with Alexander on the Packers. 47, we're going to go under. I don't think it's a shootout. So the Detroit passing game, I thought it was going to be better. It's top 12, 222 yards a game against the secondary, 215 yards, middle tier. Green Bay secondary. Something's got to give. It's Detroit. Detroit pulls this game. Detroit wins. I know it's at Green Bay. I like Detroit. I think Detroit's going to go to the Super Bowl this year. So we got Rams, Seahawks. I've got a couple of things to look at with them. So it's the Seahawks passing game, which is ranked number 1, 262 yards a game against the Rams secondary, middle tier, 212 yards a game. So this game's a little tricky because the receivers are back on the Rams. They said Puka's injured. I think he plays. So the Rams offense is a little bit better than what the stats are saying. Anyway, so Seahawks passing game is great. The Rams isn't. So we got advantage Seahawks there, but Metcalf's out. So I don't know if JSN has a game. I don't know who we're going to target with Metcalf. So that's a little bit tricky because of the injury. The Rams passing game is at 223 yards. And the secondary for the Seahawks defense is middle tier, 208 yards. Something's got to give. It's the Rams. This might be a shootout. I like the Rams over on 48.5. Okay. Now we're going to look. We're winding down here. Let's look at the Colts Vikings. Got 2 more games left. Colts Viking. JJ goes off this week. Sam Darnold's going to go off. The passing game is middle tier, 213 yards a game. Colts secondary defense, bottom 10, 227. Those are pretty all similar. Advantage Vikings, it's at Minnesota. Under on 46.5. JJ's going to go off. Bucks Chiefs Monday night, under on 45.5. I think the Bucks pull this game away. Chiefs secondary against the Buccaneers passing offense. Buccaneers passing offense, 258 yards a game. Number 2. Chiefs secondary middle tier at 212. However, the Bucs are going to be without Evans and Godwin, right? So something's got to give. I like the Buccaneers in this particular matchup. Baker Mayfield, comeback player of the year type guy, even though he wasn't injured last year. Big game again. They're just finding a way. They're also feeding the running backs on the passing game with White, and Bucky Irving's doing a little bit on his thing too, but not on the passing, a little bit on the running as a surprise. So those are my picks. Those are my over-unders. And those are also looking at defensive matchups versus some offensive matchups. I actually think I talked about the Giants? Yeah, we talked about the Giants. Don't forget, take a look at Tracy in this Washington game matchup. I really do like Tracy this game.